Hi, it's Boca again, and guess what I have today? Ta-da! Another MegaDrive. It's a MegaDrive that I got like 4 years ago. It was the first one I got since the MegaDrive that I had when I was a kid. That I got like that I sold when it was I guess it was 1996. I sold to get a PlayStation 1 and together with the SNES that I had. And then back 5 years ago, I guess, I got this one, and it wasn't working. So unfortunately, I tried to make it work. I took it to a few places, guys, people that said they could try to fix it, but they couldn't. Back in the day, I didn't know anybody who could really fix this. What happened is I tried to fix it on my own, and I screwed it. I really messed up the board. So it stayed idle, sleeping, dead for like 5 years, and now I decided to try to resurrect this thing. So let's open the case and see what's inside. Please don't judge me, I really messed up this board, so let's see. So as you can see here, it's a VA4 model. It's from 1989, I guess. It's on the back side of the board. It's written on the back side of the board, and it seemed in really good shape when I first got it. But I tried to power it on a few times, and it would not show anything besides a black screen. Then I tried to clean the board and everything, and I didn't notice any issue. As you can see, the board looks good. I don't know if you can see here. After trying a few times to power it up, it showed the game itself, which I was trying, but then it would run really slow and would stall right away. It would freeze right away, like after 2 minutes running really slow. I was trying to run Super Monaco Grand Prix, and it would just show the first screen and freeze and play the music really slow. So let me show you the part that I really messed it up. Okay, it's in this custom chip. Okay, so here we have the custom chip, Sega custom chip, custom IC, which is the 3015, the 315, 5364, and that was the problem. When I inspected the board after a few times, after I got it and it wasn't working, I saw that this IC had a few legs broken. They were not broken yet, but they were loose. They were not. They were really oxidated. I think that was the cause of the system not running good. Because other than that, the board looks good. It doesn't have any apparent broken trace or anything else. So the issue here is that I tried to solder this IC, and but unfortunately I really messed it up. So all the legs that were already broken, they got loose and they started to break. And I didn't know what I was doing back then. I didn't know anything really. I still don't know anything about electronics, but back then I didn't know. I didn't have a clue, so I really got it all wrong. All the solder mess it up with the traces. The traces were rip it off. So let me see if I can focus it better so you can see better what happened here. So I zoom it in a little bit so I could show you try to show you a little better what happened to this IC. And what I'm trying to do here is trying to resurrect this board without changing this IC, because it's a custom IC, and I think I will have to get another board and salvage from another board and make another board unusable as this one is already. So what I would like to do is to try to save the whole board, because it seems that it could work. And so what I came up with after trying a lot of things is that maybe I could use this little wires, thin wires that I found, and try to remake those traces here and connect them to this pin. So I really sandpapered this IC so it could show those legs, because they were broken. We didn't have any spots that we could solder these wires, and I sandpapered the IC until it showed those wires. And now I think I can connect these little thin wires to those pins back in place, and I hope this will somehow work. Maybe I will never publish this video, because I guess it won't work. It has like 90% of chance of not working. But I really don't want to leave this nice board dead. So yeah, maybe it will show some sign of life. Who knows? Okay. But before continue to try to fix those traces and legs from the IC and the board, I would like to show you a few other mistakes that I've tried on this board. To tell you the truth, I used this board to practice the soldering stuff that I didn't know, that I never done before, so I use it as a practice board. So I tried to remove this cap to see if I could do that, maybe do a recap one day, but there are still some legs here, so if I really want to make this board work, try to make it work once again, I'll have to replace this cap. And also I practiced the removal of this connector, because I was trying to fix, and also this one, but this one I fixed back. I was trying to fix another board that I thought that had issues with the connector, but at the end it was not the case. But I'll have to resolder this connector back, and as I can see, those already don't have the pads are broken. I guess I removed the pads incorrectly, so I'll have to fix also this connector. And that is also this thing here. Let's see, this piece that fell from the board, and I don't remember where it was connected, and I don't even know what it is, to tell you the truth. I'll try to search on the internet and see if I can find any pictures of the 989, as you can see here, revision, VA4 revision, Japanese board. So I could try to make it work again. On the worst case scenario, it will stay the same, and we will be able to use all those parts on other boards. So let's try to fix all these traces. I guess it will never work, but I guess it will also be fun. So let's do it. So here it is, the moment where my nightmare began. My plan was to first try to solder these wires over the broken traces, and then after that I would start to solder them to the IC leads, which I've previously re-exposed after scratching the IC surface until they show it up again, because they were all broken when I've tried to fix them. These traces back in 2015, and I didn't know anything about electronics back then. But that revealed itself as a doomed idea from the beginning. Because even being careful and assuring they were not shorting each other, I guess they could cause interference over time and cause short, and maybe this interference could fry the ICs in the future. So still, in theory, it sounded doable in my head, working with those stupid wires. But in practice, that process was a big mess. Because for every 3 wires that I've managed to solder to the board, with lots and lots of hard work on the process, I would inevitably touch the previous ones and wouldn't end up removing at least one of them, those previous ones. And that was so frustrating. So I tried that process during the whole last month of May, but when I was almost finishing it, or I thought so, I realized that I've skipped at least 2 traces during the soldering process. And to make things worse, those were around the middle of the IC. So I would have to desolder at least half of the wires, find where I've missed them and resolder them back again. That would take me at least another month, I thought. But fortunately, during this crazy soldering process, I happened to luckily tweet some pictures of it. And Madija, from that outstanding and great YouTube channel, Miss Mad Lemon, happened to reply with the following recommendation: that I could use, instead of these wires, some modding wires. And that, guys, was what saved this project, because if it wasn't for her, I would have given up that right away at that point. So thank you, Madija, you saved this project. Let's use some soldering flux, so I will desolder all those guys. So I disconnected all these wires, and now I will start soldering the modding wires instead of these regular wires that are pretty bad, to try to reconstruct those traces. So yeah, start using this modding wires. I guess it will be much more useful and safe than those wires. So I'm recording this video, like 3 days later after the last one. I guess I finished it to connect all the wires that they have any kind of signal to the IC. So I'm almost sure they are all rightly connected to the right paths, right traces. I guess I hope they are correct. I don't know. I followed the schematics and I looked really carefully at the board, and they seem to be correct. Finally, after spending hours, lots of hours, I don't even have the number. So many hours I spent trying to reconnect those wires on the right pads of the IC. And I'm not sure if the IC is still working, so it may be a foolish job, but let's see if we can save this board. I'm exhausted right now, but we still have to connect the capacitor up here that I removed the other day, and also reconnect this 8-pin DIMM connector, which I desoldered some time ago. So now let's move on to replace this capacitor that I removed as I was pressing, soldering here. It's 10 volts, 47 microfarad, which I bought new ones here. They are Nichicon brand. They're good, I guess. At least what they said to me. So I'll pick up one and replace it. Let's be careful to not connect it the wrong way. This gray side is the negative side, so, and the other side, but it's written on the board, so you gotta follow the board and see the other one, which is next to it. I guess there's no mistake. So let's connect this new capacitor. Now bend the legs so we can solder it. Do not solder that badly, please. I'm really struggling to solder here. My iron is bad. I will buy another one very soon, but I don't have it right now. Yeah. Bad soldering. I'll fix it. Off the camera. Now all that's left is to try to reconnect this 8-pin video output back in place that I desoldered in the past. So let's go. Please don't notice, please, my stupid item. Yeah, let's go. It's a bad soldering iron. Please don't buy it. Use your proper iron. Before I try it out, after finishing and putting it back together so we can test it, already with the cap and the connector, the video output connector that is already assembled here, and it's already soldered back again. I would like to show you what I've discovered. Is this piece of this component which fell from the board, as I said on the beginning of the video, and I didn't know what it was, but it actually I discovered it recently what it is. It is the same as this. This one is a NTSC Japanese oscillator, and this one was issued back in the day, on the early 90s, to convert these machines to our Brazilian signal, which was the PAL-M signal, which has nothing to do with the PAL from Europe. It's a completely different signal, kind of signal, so that's different, and we'll be trying to reconvert this board to the NTSC. Let me show you the back of the board. Okay, so here we have the back of the board, and I found out through other videos what was the process they would need to connect this and solder this thing to the Sony video encoder, which is on the other side of the board. I guess they use it like pin 6 or 7, I don't know. And then they would also have a wire to ground from this to this point usually, but mine didn't have. It only had this thing, and it was falling apart already. It fell. I didn't remove it. It fell by its own. So, and they would remove this trace, which I already reconnected. As a matter of fact, this was a capacitor, and they removed the capacitor to cut the trace. So, as I don't have another capacitor to replace it, we're gonna try to see if it works without a capacitor. I guess it works. And also, they cut another trace here. As you can see, this is cut, and I will have to reconnect this trace. I don't know if this is related with the conversion, but as I've seen other videos, and they usually would cut around here, but I couldn't find anything cut, any trace cut here, and so I'll try to reconnect to this thing before testing the board again. I just finished connecting this trace back together. I tested the connectivity to the other endpoint, and it's working. So let's just cut this wire, and then I guess the next step is to test it. Yeah, I refluid a lot of connectors, like the cartridge connector, the pins of the processor, the Zilog, the Motorola, and now I guess we should try. Okay, so after I try to turn it on, it just doesn't. I don't know why, and I don't know what's happening. I checked my power supply and it seems good. So I'll try to check the voltage here. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, we are getting 9 volts here on the connector, right? But on here we're not getting anything because it's off. When I turn it on, it's really strange because it's showing only almost 3 volts, and it should be like 9 on the voltage regulator. So yeah, let's see if it's also putting anything. Let's see. 1 point. It's really strange. I don't know why it's doing that. And the other also the same thing. 3, almost 3, and it's outputting, let's see, not short. Okay, not even 1. volt. So I made some mistakes around here. I don't know where exactly. I guess when I try to reflow it, somewhere I mess it up and it's not getting any voltage what it should get. So yeah, let's try to find out where I mess it up. Alright. So once again, I went to Twitter asking for help, but as nobody answered me, I tried to contact Gadget164UK and he nailed it right away. He said that I could have some bridged VCC and ground somewhere, and as I reflowed some points under the board, I found that I could have bridged the Sony encoder or also some pin on the voltage regulator. So thank you, Gadget164UK. You also helped me to save this project. Thank you very much. So finally I found the issue with the console that wasn't powering up. It was because the 6 pin of the Sony encoder, RGB encoder, that was grounded and shouldn't be, as I reconnected the traces. So I disconnected the ground from this pin and it started to power on again. Okay, let's see if it's showing some signs of life. It's on. Okay. Oh, it's alive. It's alive, man. It has no sound, but I guess the sound's coming from this. Yes, it's coming from the headphone here. It's coming and it's showing the opening. But the sound has crashed. Yeah, it has definitely crashed. I don't know if the game has crashed. Yeah, it has crashed. But at least it's showing some signs of life. Ha, that's amazing. Must be bad contact around here and maybe a little short that I didn't detect through those wires. But at least it's showing signs of life. That's amazing. That's amazing. Okay. Let's see what we can do. Now it's playing, but I'm controlling here. It didn't crash, but it's really slow. It has music. The music plays. But it's really slow. It's playing. It's alive at least. It's black and white, I don't know why. But all the sounds are playing on my ear. You can't hear, unfortunately, because I guess I screwed the mono sound that's connected to the TV. But it's playing. Let's see if I can put in the microphone here. It's really slow, but it's playing. Haha, that's incredible. Okay, let's move on. Let's try to save it. Let's see what we can do next. Now the game has crashed, but the music continued at the right speed, so there must be some kind of bad contact on those pins. I'll search for it. So, I guess that's it for today's video, the end of the part 1. There will be more parts, and on part 2 I will continue to troubleshoot this console and try to make it work, fully working. Try to make it fully working once again. So, if you liked the video, please give a like and subscribe to the channel. I guess there will be at least one more part for this video, and I'll try to make other videos. I have a lot of other videos just like this planet, so if I happen to have the time, I will continue to try to produce those videos. So thank you once again, thank you for the patience, and see you on next video. Bye!